Hello, my name is Evan Karras and I'm the program manager for BU Urban. I hope you enjoyed the video about Jess and her urban internship, and I'm here to tell you a bit more about our program. BU Urban is a National Science Foundation Research Traineeship Program, or an NRT. NSF launched the NRT program in 2014 with the goal of transforming graduate education to be more interdisciplinary and solutions-oriented and to prepare students for diverse career paths. Our program began in 2017 and we have 3 cohorts so far. BU Urban focuses on the intersection between biogeoscience, or how people affect the environment, and environmental health, or how the environment affects people, with particular emphases on air, water, and climate. Here are our program elements, which include research and travel awards for interdisciplinary projects and presentations, interdisciplinary coursework, and workshops in urban governance and science communication, among others. So what's the urban difference, so to speak? Let's imagine me as a hypothetical student interested in cardiovascular outcomes in relation to urban green space. And in this scenario, I'm not in urban. So I come to Boston University, I study and do research, and I graduate, and I'm very happy. Now, if I were in urban, I would have the same research interests, but I'd come to Boston University and join the urban program, and I would study and do my research, but this time I'd be surrounded by all those program elements I just mentioned, and then I'd graduate and be very happy. And so we see urban as a supplemental layer of resources, opportunities, and support that surround your PhD experience. Let's talk about what your experience in BU Urban will be like, starting in your first year and imagining out through the rest of your time at BU. First, you take our 2-credit colloquium and applied research methods courses, and at some point later take a course each in biogeoscience, environmental health, and statistics. During your first year, you also participate in our workshops in science communication and urban governance, along with others, and participate in our spring symposium. You start forming an interdisciplinary dissertation committee and prepare for your internship and taking the internship course. In the remaining years following your first, we ask you to continue participating in our workshops and come to our spring symposium, and this would be the bare minimum experience in BU Urban. But of course, we'd love if you came to every single workshop and this symposium. You applied for our Urban Research and Travel Awards, you embarked on interdisciplinary collaborative research, and you continued partnering with government, NGOs, and the private sector to tackle urban environmental challenges. In other words, the sky's the limit for how much you want to get out of BU Urban. On the topic of internships, here are more examples of organizations urban trainees have worked with, including municipalities like Boston and Cambridge, private sector startups like BioBot, consulting firms like Cadmus, nonprofits like Speak for the Trees, and large NGOs like the Nature Conservancy. I mentioned broadening participation at the top of the presentation and want to return to it now. We see our NSF mandate to broaden participation as fundamental to our program, so here are some examples of what we do to make this a reality. We actively recruit prospective students at professional conferences such as SOCNIS and the Black Doctoral Network, and build relationships with minority-serving institutions including HBCUs and HSIs. We work to ensure our programming, policies, and operations are inclusive and accessible and support all students, and we've launched a number of new initiatives, including our Broadening Participation Award, which supports trainees engaging in science outreach to underrepresented groups, or to build capacity for inclusive science communication or research by participating in workshops or conferences. Beyond our program, there are a number of supports and resources at the department, school, and university level that advance the goal of broadening participation. How do I know if BU Urban is right for me? Well, if you want to be part of this interdisciplinary cross-campus community, and the workshops sound interesting, and you want to do an internship with a partner in government, NGO, or the private sector, and the courses sound interesting, and by the way, here are examples of courses in biogeoscience, environmental health that would meet our interdisciplinary course requirement, then urban might be a good fit for you. If so, get in touch with me so we can talk more. My email is urban@bu.edu. Thanks a bunch.